time with Tutor Ayo, the enthusiastic tutor. And in today's tutorial, it's going to be a continuation of the course CSS243, and we will be discussing, don't forget we talked about certain things that leads to violence, all right, types of violence, behavior, all right, abuses and the like. So today we're going to be talking about the theories, okay, the theories of crime control, okay. We're going to be looking at different theories to how crime can be controlled. Definitely it cannot be 100% stopped, but it can be controlled, it can be tamed. So we're going to be looking at how crime theories that have been posited, all right, theories that are being, all right, opined by great scholars, and by great political thinkers on how, okay, on how things can be controlled, how crime can be controlled. Okay, with this being said, let's all straight into it. About some theories opined by some scholars, okay, theories opined by scholars on how crime can be controlled, okay. So without further ado, let's up straight into it and discuss about series of opined theories, suggested theories. Now I want to look at the very first theory, the Marxist theory. Okay, now what is this Marxist theory all about, and how the Marxist theory suggested that crime can be controlled? Now, the theory describes the causal relationship between crime and the society. Okay, the Marxist theory describes the causal relationship, okay, between the society and crime, meaning that the society can influence crime. Okay, according to this theory, it made it clear to us by citing some instances that crime can be influenced. As a matter of fact, crime, high rate in crime, is as a result of what the society offers to its members. Now we get to understand better as we continue. Now, according to this theory, the source of crime, please, we are not using the whiteboard, so you need to pay attention, detailed attention to what I'm saying, because I'll try and be as slow as I can, so that you can listen as you pen something down. Okay, now still on the Marxist theory, okay, and Marxist theory is saying us that the relationship between crime and society, right, is causal. Shut the door properly. Okay. Awesome. So now it says the source of crime can be traced to the introduction of private ownership of property in the evolution of states. Now, what does this mean? Now, the Marxist theory says that if ownership to property is a thing of the society, all right, if it's a socialized system, or let me put it this way, if the ownership of property, wealth, all right, is owned by the state and shared equally, okay, there will be no crime. But the reason why we have crime, according to the Marxist theory, Marxist theory now is telling us that the reason why we have crime is because there is something called private ownership of property. What does this mean? Let's continue. Now, the shape and characteristics of legal system in complex society can be understood as driving from the conflicts inherent in the structure of the society, which are stratified economically and politically. Now, the Marxist theory further holds that capitalist contradictions, capitalist, when we say capitalist, we are talking about the right, the ownership of production, all right, economic arrangement, production, and wealth is in the hand of individuals, not in the hand of the community or in the hand of the state. All right. According to Marxist theory, it's telling us that the capitalist contradiction are found, all right, are forced majority in bracket now all right, proletariat. Now, who are these proletariat? Now, proletariat is spelled P-R-O-L-E-T-A, all right, R-I-A-T. Who are these proletariat now? These are the classes of people who are unskilled and have little or no properties. So we can refer to them as the below average citizens. Okay? Now, according to Marxist theory is telling us that capitalist contradiction are forced majority in bracket all right, threat. Okay? Are forced them into what? Structural, all right, regulation. Meaning that when it comes to ownership of wealth in the hands of individuals, people are different. Individuals are different. The way they see things, the way they do things, their mentality, they are all different. All right? And these, they can employ labor and not pay well. They will use them and still underpay them. So these people get into crime. And getting into crime, there are regulations. Okay? There are regulations that will deal with you just for you to deter. But unfortunately, if the wealth is in the hand of individuals that are not kind, that are not funny, people will be forced, the proletariat will be forced doing some things they're not supposed to do because of lack. So this is what Marxist theory is telling us. Now, look at what it says here. This situation has created conditions which have hitherto given rise to a climate of crime and criminality in the society. All right? Don't forget, according to Marxist theory says that it's because wealth, all right, is in the hand of the capitalist. And when we say capitalist, it's an economic system whereby the means of production, put in bracket, wealth, is in the hand of individuals, private sector. All right? So Marxist is not telling us that as a matter of fact, as a result of this as what? This system, okay, is responsible for criminal behaviors. Okay? Because definitely few people has this wealth and majority lacks. And unfortunately, these people that have this wealth, they are not funny, they are not kind, they are not doing the right thing with the wealth. So definitely people are forced into going to burgle, rob, or do terrible things just to get them, knowing that these people have this money just to get the wealth out of the capitalist, all right, territory. So we have that as that. Now let's continue. Now, still on the Marxist theory. Now, Marxist theory is telling us that during the primitive society, when we say primitive, what are we talking about? The society whereby you don't own anything, all right? Whereby you don't own anything. I work, you work. Before you can eat, we have to do what is called trade by barter. Meaning that I have to give you what you need and give me what I need to, then we are good. In a society like that, whereby there's not like wealth is an individual, all right? The wealth is evenly, all right, evenly distributed in this society. Okay, Marxist study is telling us that The primitive society discouraged the habit of selfishness, all right, while the relationship among the people were guided, all right, they were guided, no selfishness. Now, but when society began to move beyond, and don't forget, during the primitive era, it was more of agrarian system. When we say agrarian system now, that is that agrarian is spelled agrarian, all right, agrarian production, whereby we feed, all right, the major bloodline of our economy is production of farm produce, all right. So during this era, there was no selfishness because the economy was evenly distributed then. Now, but when the society began to move beyond, all right, when people now begin to realize that this agrarian is an old school, all right, that is no longer working so well, moving beyond that kind of lifestyle or system, then the improved exchange of information gave birth to growing technology, and people started producing for commercial purpose. In the era of commercialization now, things are being different, and wealth is no longer equally distributed, all right, it's now with the capitalists. This situation led to the introduction of private property ownership. Okay, when the society moved beyond agrarian production, all right, and technology was improved, all right, production of commercial purpose was introduced. This situation led to the introduction of private property ownership. Are we together? Private property ownership. Okay, so we have that as that. Then modern states emerged to reinforce the selfish motives, which casualize the criminal subjugation of the majority by few economically and politically. All right, the modern system encouraged, all right, self-acquisition of wealth. All right, encouraged self-acquisition of wealth. So every person became selfish. All right, so we have that as that. Now, he said that the poor will engage in crime out of frustration of what? Out of frustration and perceived injustice. Two things. Martin's story is saying that the poor will engage in crime for two reasons: frustration and what we call perceived injustice. Because if you are poor, no justice for you. Only the rich get justice. So they will go into the crime. They will go into crime and do all sorts of things. Okay? So we have that as that. Now, the position of the Marxist theory, all right, is that the only remedy to the problem of crime is to what? Is the institutionalization of what? Socialism in the state. Selflessness, all right? Evenly shared economy, evenly shared wealth, such that everybody will be catered for by the state according to his needs. That is what the Marxist theory is all about when it comes to crime, controlling of crime. Okay, Marxist theory concluded after the Marxist theory has opined that the reason why we have high rate of theft and criminality behavior is because of the system that works better, the agrarian system has been moved away from, and now we're in an era whereby the capitalist owns the system. All right, so wealth is not evenly shared anymore. So the perceived poor people will go into crime out of frustration or out of perceived injustice. All right, so we have injustice, I beg your pardon. So we have that as that about the theory. Now let's look at the environmentalist theory. What does the environmentalist theory has to say? What's the environmentalist theory contribution? Now, environmentalist theory was popularized by who we call Paul and Patricia in 1980s. Okay, Paul and Patricia popularized the environmentalist theory. Now, they argue that there are some fundamental factors. All right, they argue that there are some fundamental factors, okay, responsible for criminal behavior. Now, according to them, these factors include space, time, law, offender, and victim. Let's hear that again. According to Paul and Patricia, they argue that there are some fundamental factors responsible for criminal behavior. What are these fundamental factors? According to them, all right, we have space, which is geography, time, law, offender, and victim. Okay, now this theory opines that crime can be carried out. Okay, this theory opined that crime can be carried out through the application of what we call large pin maps. Underline that, please. Large pin maps to illustrate the areas where crime occurred. Now, the art of mapping and analysis of crime has reached a new stage, resulting from the emergent information revolution. Therefore, there are computerized mapping systems which police and the scholars, all right, the police and scholars working in the area of criminology can use to what? Appreciate the dynamics of crime in a given place. Now let's continue. We'll get to know more about this. Now this theory underscores the importance. It underscores the importance of using what we call the character of any environment in studying its pattern of crime. Environmentalist theory of crime control says that the particular crime committed can be traced to the characteristics of that environment. Are we together? The particular crime committed can be traced to the characteristics of that environment. Now, according to Battle and Battle 2006, according to Battle and Battle 2006, geographical profiling is based on the notion that perpetrators of crime, all right, often consider environmental factors in their decision to commit crime, all right, and they will prefer to do so in the society that is environmentally vulnerable. Are we together? According to this environmentalist theory, it says that before anyone will perpetrate crime, any crime, what they put into consideration is how vulnerable is this environment. That's one thing they put in mind first. So the reason why you see, according to this theory, the reason why you see crime happening here and there is because that particular community or society is highly vulnerable. Now, when this theory says a society is vulnerable, what does it mean? We'll get to find out about that now. Now, it says a society is vulnerable, all right, if there are no street lights, all right, if there are no effective space management, if there are no pruning or cutting down of overgrown weeds, all right, if there are abandoned buildings, just these are just very few among others. It says such thing will encourage crime. Okay, such environmental factors will encourage crime. Okay, and for the purpose of controlling crime, according to this theory, let there be street lights. All right, if there are places whereby the weeds are overgrown, they should be pruned. All right, abandoned buildings should be sealed up. Okay, it should be sealed up. Okay, and this environment should allow proliferation. All right, allow the proliferation of abandoned buildings. All right, so we have that on that. That is according to the environmentalist theory. So I think we'll stop here for today, and in our next class we should be taking the approaches, all right, to security management. Approaches to security management. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. Like I said earlier, you can take it back and rewind the class anytime you feel, because I'm not using the board, so I might not be able to might be as slow as you might intend, and you need to pen something down. Do well to replay the video and catch up with everything I might have said. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for attending to this class, and I look forward to seeing you all in participants. Please don't forget to drop your notes, all right, in the private class, and I look forward to seeing you subsequent tutorials. Do have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.